Let me start with a truth most women overlook. Desire isn't created by words. It's ignited by presence, by energy, by the subtle yet undeniable power of a single look that communicates, without a syllable, that you are sovereign, magnetic, and unapologetically whole. Imagine this: a man strong, confident, high value walking into a room, believing he controls the space, believing he can dictate the rhythm of interaction, suddenly catching your gaze. That one look, deliberate, anchored, filled with quiet authority and a hint of mystery, is enough to recalibrate his entire energy. I know this intimately because I've tested it, refined it, and watched it unfold countless times in luxury boardrooms, high-end penthouses, private soirees where every man thought he knew the rules, only to discover he didn't even know what game he was in. That look isn't about flirtation or seduction in the shallow sense. It's about presence-ire energy, your rhythm, your mastery of self. I remember a particular evening at a rooftop gala overlooking the city. Soft golden light reflecting off crystal chandeliers, where a man I'd met weeks before approached. Confident, composed, and certain he had me figured out. And then, our eyes met. I didn't smile immediately. I didn't speak. I simply held the gaze, letting a fraction of curiosity, a whisper of intrigue, and a pulse of anticipation ripple through the space between us. And the shift was instantaneous. He leaned in, subtly, unconsciously, as though the gravity of my presence pulled him closer, compelled him to invest attention he hadn't anticipated giving. The psychological principle here is fascinating. Masculine men are neurologically wired to respond to presence, confidence, and perceived value. And when a woman conveys all three in a single, intentional look, the result is magnetic impulsion without coercion, attention without demand, submission without pressure. The key is intention and alignment. You cannot fake it, you cannot rush it, and you cannot rely on superficial cues. Your energy must be anchored, your inner world calm yet vibrant, your self-worth non-negotiable. Because masculine energy detects incongruence instantly. I had to unlearn years of conditioning, years of performing, over-explaining, over-giving before I could wield this power authentically. And when I did, I realized something revolutionary. One look, grounded in sovereign feminine energy, can make a man reorganize his priorities, reprioritize his attention, and willingly serve a woman whose presence he feels he cannot resist. Now let's break down why this works. Because the mechanics are both subtle and intoxicating. The first element is alignment. Your outer presence must reflect your inner sovereignty. Stand, sit, move, breathe as though the universe has already deferred to you. Your posture, your gestures, the softness or strength of your smile must harmonize with an unshakable sense of self. I recall a private dinner where this principle manifested perfectly. The room was dimly lit, wine glasses reflecting candlelight, and he arrived expecting ordinary charm, ordinary energy. But when I gave him that look, slow, measured, infinitely confident, paused mid-sentence, unconsciously assessing, recalibrating, registering that this was not a woman to be conquered in haste, his attention shifted entirely to me, not because of anything I said, but because of what I exuded. Patience, selectiveness, self-possession, masculine energy, especially high-value masculine energy, instinctively responds to challenge and alignment. It respects energy that is non-negotiable yet inviting, powerful yet receptive, grounded yet playful. I've observed men in boardrooms suddenly becoming cautious in their speech, subtle in their approach, when they encounter a woman who is fully anchored, whose attention is measured, and whose presence is magnetic. By the third week, he was anticipating, predicting, wondering what I might do next. Imagination, after all, is where obsession begins. And the genius of this strategy is that it doesn't demand anything from him. It simply allows him to show up fully if he wants to invest genuinely, to align with your energy rather than your demands. Your look communicates everything: standards, sovereignty, desire for alignment. And because masculine men unconsciously seek validation through mastery, through contribution, through action, one look becomes an invitation to serve not through obligation, but through choice, through genuine attraction to the energy you radiate. I have cultivated this over years, testing it in penthouses overlooking city lights, in private dinners where the most confident men suddenly felt exposed, in casual encounters where curiosity became anticipation, and anticipation became devotion. Philosophically, it is yin energy in its purest form, receptive yet compelling, soft yet dominant, subtle yet absolute. Psychologically, it triggers the primal mechanism of masculine protection, pursuit, and investment, because the man senses that to ignore or disrespect the energy before him would be to diminish his own alignment and value. And the most intoxicating part, it's effortless. The look is not about performance, nor manipulation, nor playing games. It is about being fully yourself, fully anchored, fully magnetic. And when you master this, everything changes. The way men approach you, the way they anticipate you, the way they invest their time, attention, and desire. And here is the final, transformative lesson, the one that makes this look not just a tactic, but a lifestyle of feminine power. Mastery of presence transforms not only your relationships, but your life. When you step into a room, whether it's a gala, a private dinner, or a casual meeting, and wield this energy, you command attention, respect, and alignment without ever uttering a word. I remember an evening when multiple men were vying for my attention at a charity gala. And with a single look, one high-value man confident, accomplished, and previously unshakable immediately pivoted his energy entirely toward me. Not because of manipulation, not because of charm or beauty alone, but because the energy I held, the sovereignty I embodied, the alignment I maintained, made him pause, recalibrate, and willingly choose to serve, support, and engage fully. That is the magic. Masculine energy responds to energy, not words. Desire responds to presence, not persuasion. And this is the lesson I want you to internalize. Cultivate your energy, anchor yourself in sovereignty, refine your rhythm, and align your inner world with your outer presence. Then, one look is all it takes. You stop chasing validation. You start inviting alignment. You stop performing. You start inhabiting your power. And when you do, the men, the opportunities, the connections that deserve your energy will show up fully, intentionally, reverently. So I want you to leave this video with one action. Practice presence, refine your look, and notice how masculine energy shifts around you. Comment "I needed this" if you feel that shift. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and let this energy anchor itself within you. This look, this presence, this mastery is not just a dating tool, it is a declaration of your sovereignty, your value, and your irresistible feminine power. And when you walk into your next room, remember, one look, anchored in alignment, patience, and magnetism, can make him drop everything not because you demand it, but because your energy makes him want to. Carry that, embody that, and watch your world transform. Let me expand on the subtle alchemy that happens when a woman understands the power of presence. Because what most people call attraction is really just a shadow of alignment, energy, and intention. Imagine entering a room where every man believes he controls his environment, that he dictates the rhythm of attention, and yet the moment your gaze meets theirs, the air changes, the space bends subtly around you. That look, deliberate and anchored, does more than spark desire, it communicates standards, sovereignty, and an unspoken demand for alignment. I've experienced this in private penthouses, in luxury boardrooms, during candlelit dinners where chandeliers reflected golden halos of light. And each time, the shift is profound. Masculine men pause mid-thought, mid-sentence, unconsciously recalibrating, because they feel instinctive lithe energy they are in the presence of. This is not superficial flirtation. It is rooted in psychology. Masculine energy seeks validation, but it does so through action and alignment, not through words. When a woman conveys her inner world confidence, sovereignty, calm authority through her gaze, she triggers neurological patterns in men that heighten attention, focus, and even submission, not because of coercion, but because of the magnetic pull of authenticity. I remember sitting across from a man who was high-powered, dominant, and accustomed to being the prize. And with just one slow, intentional look, I could feel his internal rhythm shift. His energy softened. He leaned in slightly, unconsciously compelled to engage more deeply, to invest more fully, to meet the standard I silently projected. It is here that many women miss the point. Desire is not manipulated by words, gifts, or attention. It is commanded by presence, energy, and alignment. That single look, when backed by clarity and self-possession, communicates everything: boundaries, value, and the quiet power of choice.